2026 can be that season, but Inter will prove formidable challenges as we're underway with the Derby d'Italia. Juventus hosting Inter. A two-week international break slowing down the momentum of Tudor's side from the start, having beaten Genoa in their last match away from home, having beaten Parma on the opening day here at this ground. Christian Chivu have had two home games. One went brilliantly, a 5-0 win over Torino. The other, not so much. A 2-1 home defeat to Udinese. And all of the questions about his tenure, about where this Inter side are going after a generation, has seemingly come to a conclusion. Maybe it can continue. They'll have to prove it today as Hakan Çalhanoğlu carries through that midfield and plays for Bastoni, who will win the throw from Tun Koopmeiners.
And you don't want to see Chivu coming in and ruffling feathers too much, changing so much away from the system that got Inter all that success. You're still going to see those overlapping runs from Bastoni. If it is Di Marco or Carlos, they're going to tuck inside. So a lot of the shape, and you're seeing a lot of similarities from the Simone Inzaghi system of the last few seasons.
Long throw in from Bastoni. This flick down there from Carlos Augusto, and Bremer does have to concede a corner. Well done from Carlos Augusto to win this first header. With more teams around the world trying the long throw as almost another set piece, putting pressure on the defenses to be alert from the word go. Referee will come over and have a word with Manuel Akanji.
Oh, this is the new cam, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It was revealed before this one that we would see this angle for the first time in Serie A for this match. Ref cam is growing around the world after the exploits in the Club World Cup. Çalhanoğlu into that near post, and rather easy work defensively there for Juventus to carry away. And now here's Yildiz, quickly surrounded by four. Poke beyond Mkhitaryan, but Barella doing the covering. Koopmeiners showing that bit of endeavor. Another chance given to the Dutchman after he failed to impress last season after joining for $58 million. Igor Tudor trusting him again.
Yeah, and you have to try to get something out of this guy that you dedicated so much money towards, but he was all over the place last season. He was playing in many different positions. It felt like there was a bit of confusion, even from the part of Thiago Motta's. Where's the best position for Koopmeiners to thrive? We even saw him out wide. We saw him as a holding midfielder, as a number 10, and no matter where Thiago Motta put him, we didn't see the player that he was at Atalanta, who had absolutely world-class talent and ability, the way he could drive forward, the goal scoring, and a lot of this stuff was elementary mistakes, Chris. First touches, poor passes, so you couldn't really just blame the positioning or the manager. I think a lot of it was on him. The pressure that comes with commanding that price tag sometimes is a lot for a player from a mental standpoint to be able to deal with.
And moving to a club like Juventus where so much is expected. Barella measuring his volley! Oh! Barella only just wide! My word, did he catch that as well. Frustrated that it's not in the bottom corner.
Oh, this is a world-class effort. It's falling down to him on the volley. Just gets that inward bend on the ball. Strikes it so brilliantly. And that is only about an inch wide of Di Gregorio's post. We know Barella's got that in his locker, that long-distance striking ability. But the technique to hit that one on the volley like that, that is tremendous from Barella. The first warning shot fired by Inter.
Hitting through the ball with that side-winding motion.
Amazing.
Going outside to in, but only just bent to the wrong side of the post. But an early warning side for Juventus, who've not really had much control in the Inter half of the pitch. Turamo set up with Di Gregorio, who came through the youth setup at Inter. Never played a senior game for them, though. Interesting occasion to be on the other side of the Derby d'Italia from his boyhood club. Akanji. Played all over for Guardiola.
That's a great ball.
It's Lautaro Martinez who failed to control. Kalulu plays in that wing-back role, but will do plenty of the defending. As Yildiz chipped up there by Çalhanoğlu. It'll be a free kick.
Akanji is comfortable on the ball, and that is something that most of the Inter defenders share, the ability to distribute from the back. How many times have we seen a Bastoni long ball leading to an assist directly from his own half? So the strikers, when you see Bastoni on the ball, usually they're always on alert to try to make that run in behind the shoulder of the last defender. Maybe they can get picked out by Akanji as well. And now the question is, how many times are they going to go to this? Is it going to feel a bit gimmicky after a while?
There are definitely moments where it looks fantastic, especially on a long-range strike.
I couldn't even get my bearings that time. Either give us nothing or give us a little bit more.
Very demanding of the match director. Here's Lloyd Kelly. Akanji in the way.
Oh, that's creative as well from Barella.
Lautaro tripped up from behind from Gleison Bremer. Will be a free kick.
And this is the type of battle that Gleison Bremer absolutely adores, when he's in the center of a back three and he has that license to be aggressive and always make his presence felt physically when a striker is with his back to goal.
Lautaro Martinez, the last to arrive from international duty, was playing with Argentina in the last week, played on Tuesday, arrived on Thursday, had the one training session, but as you would always expect, he is good to go. So that cross claim there from Di Gregorio. Bremer with Thuram in the way. This rivalry produced an absolute classic last season. A 4-4 at San Siro was a huge moment for Kenan Yildiz to score a brace in that game, the youngest player to ever score a brace in the Derby d'Italia. Juve as well winning at this ground by 1-0 through a goal from Francisco Conceição. So it was a profitable rivalry for Juve last season in the midst of a bit of a struggle of a campaign that saw Thiago Motta leave after less than a season in charge.
It's a conservative shape so far from Tudor's men. There's a bit of pressure now, but dropping back into that defensive line of 5, how isolated will Dusan Vlahovic be? That's where he struggles. Vlahovic himself has said that he prefers to be in a 2-man striker attack where he has someone right there to link up with. But if he's left on an island up top on his own, will he have the first touch and the pace to beat his man? If it's a Cerbi, you probably put your money on Dusan Vlahovic to be able to beat him in a foot race. But it's a massive moment for Vlahovic, especially with the new additions. Lois Openda has come over from RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. Edin Jagrova is a different profile, but another attacking player who will play just behind the lone striker. And what a talent he is, Chris. That game between Lille and Juventus in the Champions League, I think Juventini definitely got to see the talent of Jagrova. That is an exciting signing.
He was brilliant in the Champions League last season for Lille.
And so much confidence. He was asked, who's the toughest player you've come across? He said, I haven't met him. So he's definitely got a lot of swagger. The way that he's talked in these interviews, he's personable. I'm very excited to see Jagrova play. He's not ready yet, though. He's lacking match fitness.
Hasn't played for 9 months. As Dumfries will have a long throw into that penalty area. Thuram was tracking it. It did manage to get the strike away, but deflects on its way through Di Gregorio. Well controlled there from Thuram, just that deflection in the way. Dumfries and Thuram recovering possession. Will play it across towards Mkhitaryan, who let it go, and Kalulu can play out the other side, just couldn't quite find the window to get beyond Carlos Augusto.
It's good recoveries from Inter as well. High press as soon as Juventus are on the ball, and Juve haven't been able to really maintain any sort of semblance of possession so far.
Gatti. It's going to be given as a handball for falling on the ball there by the referee. Here's Thuram. And again with Inter showing their pressure. McKennie putting the challenge in. It is given as a throw to Juve. Another chance for Weston McKennie at this left wing-back spot. Last season, depending on how you identify positions and vary them between back 4 and back 3 systems, McKennie played in 9 different positions.
Everything but center back and goalkeeper. Really a Swiss Army knife for all the managers that Juventus have had in the first time last season that he actually felt settled at the club. He's normally been having swirling transfer rumors above his head.
And they do resume this year. He does not yet have a contracted hand beyond this season. Locatelli breaking lines, but Yildiz failing to control, playing in that more central area. Koopmeiners now harrying Barella, but does want to find Akanji. Both of these teams will get started in the Champions League in midweek. Juventus will host Borussia Dortmund. Should be a great game, and Inter will visit Ajax.
Look at the space between Vlahovic and everyone else on the team. There's no one really just sitting in that attacking midfield position. Yildiz is floating all over the place. He's come back to his natural left wing position. But with Koopmeiners dropping deep, there's a lot of space and massive gap between that midfield line and the lone striker. How effective is that going to be for Vlahovic? That's a question in this first half.
Gatti. All the way back to Bremer and all the way back to the goalkeeper. When they draw Inter forward and then play through them, that would be the goal.
He's come in for some criticism recently from Fabio Capello in particular. He said Çalhanoğlu is Inter's problem at the moment.
You think they're trying to go to ref cam again?
Surely that can't break the whole system, can it?
Anything's possible, Chris.
Here's Bremer as Juventus enjoy a nice spell of possession here in these early stages. Kalulu. Inter would, at minimum, love to avoid defeat today. A loss, and all of a sudden they're 6 points off the league leaders, Juve. Find themselves under pressure in these early stages. Christian Kivu has a lot to prove. Does not have much of a managerial track record as Yildiz wins it off Çalhanoğlu, plays it behind Kalulu with the block in, still on though. Here's Vlahovic, and his curled effort is blocked by Acerbi.
Carlos Augusto with a brilliant job tracking that run the entire way and preventing that shot from going on target. Same with Yildiz, just stealing the ball away from Çalhanoğlu perfectly into stride for Kalulu, playing out of position at right wing back, but making a really good run here, diagonally across goal. But you have to credit Carlos Augusto. That is tremendous work. Might have just saved the goal there for Inter. Tracking back the entire way, staying with his man.
Locatelli will leave it for Koopmeiners to swing in. Well bent in, and Bremer rose, but Bastoni heads clear. Koopmeiners again will just lash it back across. McKennie controlling the follow and slide it to Locatelli. Lifted in for Bremer to hook across, and Lloyd Kelly!
Oh!
The unlikeliest of goal scorers! Lloyd Kelly! The former Newcastle defender strikes in the Derby d'Italia to give Juve the opener.
Oh, what a moment for the English defender coming all the way up. The ball falls to him. He just side foots this one. It's a fine finish from Lloyd Kelly in the Derby d'Italia. This is by far the biggest moment he's had in a Juventus kit. He's had his struggles in the past. McKennie keeps possession. Another quality ball in from Yildiz, but how about also that acrobatic cross in from another center back, Bremer. We've been accustomed to seeing wingbacks finding wingbacks, but how about a center back assisting another center back for a fabulous cross and an even better finish? And let's see what the ref saw. That's a good look as well, right behind Lloyd Kelly. Bottom corner. Just almost passes it in. It's a side-footed effort. It's really a clinical finish. You don't expect that cross or that finish from your two center backs. It's magical work from Juventus.
First goal for the club joined in January. And lashes one in the bottom corner. Well taken with that left boot, and these fans are jumping. All of a sudden, the recent woes that Inter have had at this stadium are starting to feel that little bit more intense. Just one win in their last 12 trips to the Allianz Stadium, as that's a clumsy challenge in there on Dumfries. McKennie, the one who goes over. And it is that left hand that catches McKennie in the face as both players are going to ground. Now a decent chance over a dead ball for Çalhanoğlu. All the supporters around Turin enjoying a day out. Whipped in, but rather easily dealt with there from Koop Miners. Mkhitaryan. Bastoni hooking. So much air under that one. Who's going to deal with it? Bremer does. It'll come out for Akanji, who just tries to volley towards goal. Lautaro and Barella with the outside of the boot. Kalulu the same. Barella at full stretch, catching Thuram. Oh, grabbing at his right side.
Feels once again like a swarming attack from Inter. They were the more active side on the ball in the first 10 minutes or so. Created a golden chance through Barella on the volley. There's another look here at how the goal developed. McKennie keeps it alive. Cross to the back post by Locatelli, and as he's going away from goal, Bremer just hooks it back to the center of the box so well. He couldn't go direct from goal. It's almost like he knows exactly where he's going. You can see he's checking to see who's there, and it's really a pinpoint cross in from Bremer. First time as he's moving away from goal. Tremendous assist from the Brazilian center back. How much they missed him last season. Getting to see all facets of his game today.
Kelly,
and
a
as
player
you
that
said,
came
the
in,
unlikeliest goal scorer.
yes, indeed. It's a player who came in for a lot of criticism. When he joined on loan, obligation to buy was confirmed in the summer, and it was the thought that he would already go back to the Premier League, but he's proven his value.
Yeah, he has. I think it was the transfer value, around 15 million euro, when you look at what Juventus also sold Dean Huijsen for when he went to Bournemouth. That was the same fee. So I think it was almost a thinking from the fans of who they could have kept, seeing that now Dean Huijsen's moved on to Real Madrid.
For a lot of money as well.
Exactly, and they've had to get rid of some really talented young center backs in the last few years. We saw it with Dragushin as well. Then he moved on to Tottenham. So Demiral, Romero of Tottenham. So Juventus have moved a lot of center backs away, a lot who have then gone on to increase their transfer value.
At times really struggled to fill out that position, even during the Club World Cup in the summer, with the injuries and the departures. Tudor insists upon playing with a three-at-the-back system. Locatelli. Slid down back to the Italian midfielder, who had an eventful midweek. Yildiz skinning one defender and goes on with that low cross towards Vlahovic. Acerbi in the way. Well positioned, as he is wont to do. Inter are struggling. Kelly with those arms up high, catching Lautaro Martinez. It is a free kick.
Going for the sombreros. Great work from Yildiz with two defenders on him. Still being able to use his pace to find that ball in. There was only one run being made by Vlahovic, but Acerbi read it well. He just had that step in front of Vlahovic to be able to clear the ball. I feel like the dynamism and dribbling in the first half at least is going to be all squarely on the shoulders of Kenan Yildiz for Juventus. He has such unique characteristics in this side. These are the kind of tests that Igor Tudor wanted his side to face.
call this Inter group the best squad in Italy over the last 4 or 5 years. And they've done well. Yildiz and Vlahovic eventually decides who takes in towards Vlahovic. And Akanji with a good step across and neatly handling that bit of pressure that came his way. 2 men up front, attempting to lead the break, and Yildiz now wondering where everyone on the left side is, as Barella has free space to roam and play a good ball for Mkhitaryan. Carlos Augusto, low cross, well delivered, but Gatti able to stab that one away. Akanji. Off the back there of Thuram. Chadby with an awkward pass towards Akanji, leaving him work to do, and Vlahovic aggressive in going in, but giving away the free kick. A very good run to start the year. Scored off the bench in both of Juve's Serie A matches to start this campaign. Scored for Serbia in the international window against Latvia. In behind in towards Thuram, who turns head of Locatelli, has all the options, but still deliberating. Back with Barella, who will chip in. Dumfries controls, leads for Marcus Thuram, who gets the effort all wrong.
Just waiting for the right run to come. It came from Dumfries. Takes his time, deflection. And then from that position on his weaker foot, a difficult effort from Marcus Thuram. Hardly had a second to even measure his shot. But he does get the corner kick from it. And Inter do have a lot of height on this team.
Into that near post, Bastoni had the chance in his glancing header, going off target.
It was a better corner kick than the first one that was whipped in, which was way too short. Still at that near post. Trying to get that glancing header from Bastoni. What a tremendous goal, didn't he, against Torino, week 1.
Had an assist as well. His attacking exploits are not in doubt. 17 assists over the last 6 Serie A seasons.
It's hard to even call him a center back. He's carved out his own position in this back 3.
Kelly hooking away. Inter will now look to get up the pitch and turn the screw, make Juve uncomfortable. Yet to register a shot on target in the game, the net Azzurri. Helped on for Akanji. Straight into the side. We'll have the competition with Bisek, and Inter will, of course, have a lot of games to play. Champions League beginning in the midweek. Çalhanoğlu. Mkhitaryan. Barella. And Denzel Dumfries. Lifting that cross in, Lautaro Martinez and Carlos Augusto in. Dumfries on the backside, able to direct it across, but it had gone out for the goal kick.
That was a low block from Juventus, sitting back in a 5-4-1, so the only way forward for Inter is really to go down the flanks and just whip in those balls. So difficult with the crowded center of the pitch to play those 1-2s. And it caused a little bit of problems for Juventus once again.
Referee pointing towards that 6-yard box. It looked like it was a foul for a push on Federico Gatti. That was the reason that passage in play came to a conclusion.
I always wonder, those ultras, that the entire time they have their back to the game because they're starting the cheers and the chants. Do they watch any of the game, do you think?
Unless there's a video screen within their view. They don't.
I think that's on their mind.
It's got to be at least a little on your mind. What's going on in the game? That's why you go.
They're orchestrating the curva, Chris.
It's a big job,
That's a big responsibility.
I'd want to know what's going on.
Same.
Acerbi. Çalhanoğlu. And Akanji hitting it towards Thuram, who's taking up some good positions in this first half. Getting it back again from Barella. Slid across, and Yildiz in the way. Well intercepted and played forward there from Locatelli, but Vlahovic again. At times an issue for Dusan Vlahovic. Very aggressive in the press, but sometimes too aggressive.
And once again, there's so much separation between him and the rest of the team. That's not how you get the most out of Dusan Vlahovic. That long ball to him, and he's instantly swarmed by one of the Inter defenders. And I think that's where his frustration's been, that he wants someone to come closer to him where he can combine and maybe play a quick one too. But you can see this shape, if the scoreline holds, really working out when you have David, especially Lois Openda.
Barella, well, one in the air by Bremer.
Openda is quick on the break.
Is available from the bench. Çalhanoğlu. Slid across for Akanji. Driving beyond Thuram. Akanji chipping it towards that middle, and Thuram had to be deflected away for a corner. Akanji showing his worth in these early stages.
Yeah, and he's playing in that Pavard role that we saw, where it's the right-sided center back in the trio that's expected to also get forward, playing crosses and passes, just like Bastoni does on the left. First time we've really gotten to see Akanji wander forward.
Barella lifting in, heads go up, and Thuram was in there as well. Acerbi might have gotten a piece, just too far away from Marcus Thuram. Once again, plays against his brother Kefren, who's in that midfield for Juve. It was great to see the sibling rivalry in a game of this import. Father Lilian have to wear one of those half-and-half shirts.
I think he's just happy he doesn't have to travel all across Italy again. The amount of mileage he has to put on to see both of his boys.
Hope he's well taken care of on the Freccia Rossa. As it's lifted away. Out for the throw. Inter controlling the ball with 63% of the possession. Juve got the early goal and have been fine to defend. Tudor in the build-up talking about wanting to live up to the team's identity as a serious team that can press, but also is fine playing low at times. Been much more balanced under Tudor. Won't want to defend for long periods. These are the moments to take him play forward. Here's Kelly striding into the path of McKennie. Good first touch into a crossing position. Takes a deflection. Locatelli! It deflected, and Sommer could only watch as it went wide and out for the corner.
Sommer was absolutely rooted. It takes a wicked deflection. Locatelli, who's got a powerful shot from distance. Actually a double deflection. Look at this. It's a pinball. Off of one, off of Çalhanoğlu, and that second deflection took it much closer to goal than initially it was going.
Corner delivered, and it comes all the way through. Gatti and Bremer will chase a shove in the back there from Federico Gatti. I think the Inter players will appeal that it should be a yellow card for breaking up that counterattack, but for the moment, it looks like Colombo will keep him in his pocket.
Looked like a clear tactical foul.
And that Gatti will be more than fine taking. Mkhitaryan. Bastoni. Playing with the Armenian, out wide again for Carlos Augusto. Slid for Çalhanoğlu! Oh! Long distance bangers is what Hakan Çalhanoğlu does. Always with a big goal for the big game. I doubt he was going to be at the club at this time, but he's here and delivering for Inter, the equalizer in the Derby d'Italia.
Oh, this is vintage Hakan Çalhanoğlu. That is a heat-seeking missile that just came off his left foot. Oh my goodness. Look at the space between Çalhanoğlu and everyone else. You have to put a body on him. It's what he does so well. There aren't many players in world football that can generate this much power on the ball, striking it first time. And that's supposed to be his weaker foot. That was impossible to save from Di Gregorio, my goodness. Oh, what a hit. And we've seen a couple of them today from Inter. With Juventus dropping into that low block, we've seen shots from distance, one from Barella, which just squirted wide of the post. And now that absolutely terrific effort from Çalhanoğlu. Two great finishes. Lloyd Kelly on one side, which was unexpected, and Çalhanoğlu, after a turbulent summer, and maybe not his best season with Inter last campaign, this is one way to get going in the Derby d'Italia.
And the response that Kivu and Inter were looking for. It couldn't be another 4-4 again, surely. Saw one last year in the meeting at San Siro. We've seen some goals already. Yildiz will certainly beat Acerbi in a foot race. Now Bastoni across the cover, and Yildiz just knew he wanted to win the corner off him. Just poked it at the defender, who now comes away limping a little bit. To be a worrying sign for Inter supporters.
It's hard to see. Is it a hamstring that he felt?
Just a tweak of something there. Yeah. Something felt awkward off that deflection's good to go as the corner comes in. Header one by Akanji. Lautaro has work to do and doesn't really do it well. Lifted back in, Çalhanoğlu further still. Di Gregorio will come all the way out to play and volley to this left side. Flicked on from Koopmeiners. This is decent. McKennie in towards Kelly, who stayed forward. Who's tripped up there. Referee says no. Dumfries then taken out. And a yellow card shown to Tung Koopmeiners.
Some strange refereeing in this game. Just a few minutes ago, I thought that was a yellow card for the tactical foul that Gatti committed, and there looked like a foul from outside the box.
Let's bring in our rules expert, Christina Unkel. Christina, what did you make of this incident here? Is this a foul in your mind? Thank you, Christina. Lautaro Martinez charging forward, challenging from Barella, who goes again and again. It's all clean. Mkhitaryan lifting towards Dumfries, who can control, but McKennie able to get there and lift it away. Carlos Augusto. Henrik Mkhitaryan lifting in, and Kelly able to head away. Çalhanoğlu again volleying, and this time didn't quite catch it. He knows he could have hit it better, and Di Gregorio making the save.
I don't think Inter fans will be too upset with Çalhanoğlu right now. That is a difficult effort from him. The header from Kelly. It's a tough one to wrap around. It's been a nice balance to this game so far.
Kelly. Kefren Turam. Yildiz trying to cut inside there of Dumfries. Kefren Turam, though, on the scene. Locatelli spotting the run of McKennie. Akanji, though, had it tracked the whole way and does head away for a corner. McKennie showing that intelligence, though, of the position.
This is what Koopmeiners did best, even last season when his play in the open field wasn't as good as recent seasons. His set-piece delivery, especially this outswinger from the corner kick, he always puts it right on the edge of that 6-yard box. Makes it hard for the goalkeeper to come out, especially an undersized goalkeeper like Jan Sommer, who's the shortest starting goalkeeper in Serie A. He's going to stay rooted in place. This is pretty interesting, actually, isn't it? I feel like you're right there, smelling the breath.
Koopmeiners lifted in. Oh, and Gleison Bremer
Great ball again.
Aggressively attack these set pieces. Locatelli with his teammate in the way, and now the breaks go in the other. Mkhitaryan playing from Çalhanoğlu. Juve, though, doing very well to reset their shape as it's switched across to Carlos Augusto. Here's Bastoni. Juve sinking incredibly deep, almost everyone on the edge of the box. Çalhanoğlu from range. He was invited, just sliced it off target. It's a third effort now from outside the area from Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
This is worrying. Juventus are dropping to this low block, but there's too much separation now between them and Çalhanoğlu. It's the third attempt that he's had. That one was obviously a very low percentage shot, but he's already got his goal. Saw Barella come close from outside the box, but you don't want to give that much space to Çalhanoğlu, even to think about having that shot from distance.
Here's Gatti. Yildiz striking!
Oh!
What a goal! This is his game! Scored a brace in last year's derby, and he scored an absolute golazo to restore Juve's lead. We might have another classic in store in the Derby d'Italia.
And this looks like the season where Starboy jumps to superstardom. The display so far, now in the biggest game of the season. This is a world-class hit from Kenan Yildiz. He's looked very lively, just receives the ball, quick turn. Two Inter players around him, but they're not able to close down the angle. And just look at the precision of that ball. It's hit with so much power, goes right through the fingertips of Jan Sommer. Oh my goodness, the quality of this strike. The determination, the quick thinking. A player who wouldn't even be able to celebrate with a carbonated adult beverage in this country. He's that young, and he's got that much personality. Hasn't felt the weight of the historic number 10. What a player. And what a game. This game is on fire, Chris. The quality of the goals that we've had so far, and we're only 39 minutes in.
The angle on that strike from Yildiz, you see it from behind where it looks like for Sommer, he's going to be able to get there. And then it just bends and bends further and further away from him.
Just how quickly he turned it. He knew exactly where he wanted to put the ball. That is unbelievable awareness, far beyond his ears. We've been spoiled here today.
And we still have more than 50 minutes left to play. Will Juve sink deep as they did after they conceded the opener? Didn't appear to have worked. They will have to keep playing. Bastoni playing with Acerbi. Passed it out wide for Dumfries, taking up a good position. But closed down there by Kelly and McKennie, but gets that nutmeg off. Kelly circling away from the trouble, well handled there. Takes the bump. It's a throw into Inter. Çalhanoğlu. Barella. Juventus in their defensive shape, inviting Inter to come at them. Playing on the periphery. Nice through ball though from Çalhanoğlu. Mkhitaryan.
Is this the equivalent of a three-point shootout? I mean, it's all shots from outside the box, man. And so many of them, even the Barella one, the Barella shot in the first few minutes of the game, Chris, that was an inch from finding the bottom corner, and that might have been the best one of them all, given that it was on the volley.
This is a rivalry he is familiar with as a player. This is a rivalry his opposite manager, Christian Kivu, is familiar with as a player. They know what it means. Igor Tudor called it more than 3 points before the game.
And it's two coaches that have been part of both Inter and Juventus at the height of their success that know what it means to wear both of these kits. The importance, the honor of being a Juventus and Inter player. That's why they were trusted. Obviously, they also need to have good ideas as managers. Oh, here we go again.
Does want to play in Yildiz with purpose for Koopmeiners, who scuffed his effort. It's a great idea. Koopmeiners trailing the play, just didn't catch it.
I mean, Yildiz puts it on a golden platter, and these are the kinds of scuffed efforts, the awkwardness that we saw from Koopmeiners last season, which a lot of fans are hoping doesn't translate into this new year, but that was a great chance for him, especially the quality that we've seen from these outside of the box shots, but gets it completely wrong. And it was a terrific pass from Yildiz. He looked exactly where he wanted to put that ball, lasered it right to Koopmeiners to hit it first time.
Çalhanoğlu in towards Thuram and unable to get to it.
And we've had lots of eyes on Vlahovic, obviously because of the big decision that Tudor made to sit Jonathan David. Also some eyes on Tim Koopmeiners, given how last season went and hasn't really been able to establish himself in the first half. Even the displays where he's not making mistakes, they still feel quiet. And we know that there's so much more that he could give.
Di Gregorio. Gatti involved in that challenge on the far side. Lautaro Martinez yet to really make an impact in the game. Doesn't really have a great record in this derby. 2 goals in the last 14 league games he's played against Inter. This is well handled from McKennie. Have to play it second time, but shoved out at Akanji in order to get there. Akanji. Acerbi. Mkhitaryan. time for Inter on the ball. Again, playing sort of outside of the Juventus system. Have to find a way through it. It's very tight.
Everything's out wide for crosses or long distance efforts. There's no way to play through the middle successfully. Look at how quickly Juventus players are just closing down those gaps in the center of the box. All the strikers tightly marked.
Just the 1 minute added at the end of the first half. Hakan Çalhanoğlu seeks and searches, as does everyone in this team, but just no ways through apparent. Akanji just briefly on there for Mkhitaryan, but Acerbi's gonna have to go across here towards Çalhanoğlu. And Inter will finish out this first half just playing around rather than through. Some moments when they've looked so good under Inzaghi, but I think this is a fairly emblematic minute of play here from Inter. Given away, and there is the halftime whistle. Inter struggling for ideas at the end of the half, but Kenan Yildiz is the player who gave Juventus the lead with an absolutely wonderful strike after Lloyd Kelly opened proceedings with his first goal for Juventus. The response came from... Ready to go? As we begin the second 45 minutes of one of the best rivalries in world football. Juventus and Inter. A sum total of 56 league titles between these two clubs. 3 stars over the badge of Juve, 2 stars over the badge of Inter. The second picked up after their 20th league title, won 2 seasons ago. Here's Francesco Acerbi. Çalhanoğlu. This is a similar script to the end of the first half, where Inter had so much of the ball but need to find these sorts of passes to break lines and find windows to play, as Barella does with Thuram, lifting that cross in. No one really there, but Kalulu still feels the need to head away for a corner to Inter.
Really curious about some of the substitutions that both managers will make. So on the halftime, Boni getting ready. Striker who's already come on and scored a goal for Inter this season in Serie A, coming over from Parma. Very talented player on the ball as well as Anghion Boni.
Lifted in from Çalhanoğlu into that near post, and Thuram, and twice Locatelli attempts to clear, does eventually lift to safety. Now Bastoni trying to get beyond Kalulu. Give a fair bit of credit to the Juve defensive, largely held Inter in check. A lot of shots from outside the area, one of which did go in from Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
I think it'll be much of the same in the second half. Juventus just sitting back in this shape, mostly a 5-4-1 with the lines really tightly compacted together. And allow Inter to have the possession, but to not really get off any high percentage shots inside the box.
Miners lifting away. Juve got that first lead. They spent a lot of time defending. Will they attempt a similar gambit here in the second half? A lot of numbers behind the ball, the entire team behind the ball. Bastoni. Well to Thuram, who makes an angled run, but no one really playing off him. Have to slide back to Mkhitaryan. And Bastoni tries to cross, which deflects on its way through Di Gregorio with an aggressive claim, even into his own teammate Gatti.
You know, in the last few attacks, you've seen Lautaro be the one who comes towards the ball. He's coming short to try to get in possession, and Bremer is plastered all over Marcus Thuram, making it really hard for the striker to get any sort of consistent touch or make himself available. You know, Bremer's one of those defenders that if you're a striker going up against him, it must be hellish to play against the Brazilian. He's all over you. He's constantly poking and prodding and going in with maybe an elbow, a knee, just making you feel his presence. And there is that intimidation factor too, where you know if you're receiving the ball back to goal, this guy's going to come clobber into you from behind, and it's not going to feel good.
I saw in the Italian media someone described Bremer as worth 10 points. Missed so much of last season, actually got injured.
I agree with that.
In an incident with RB Leipzig striker, then Juventus striker, now Lois Openda. Two of them had a conversation. As the referee just has a word there with Igor Tudor, we get a front row seat to this conversation.
Yeah, I think they made it a point to not put the audio in, or else we'd probably get kicked off the air.
Certainly around conversations with referees.
Yeah, don't ask me to do the translation either, because I can see what they're saying when their mouths are moving, and a lot of it is not pretty, Chris.
Thuram. Flick back into Mkhitaryan, makes a great run from midfield. Plays for Carlos Augusto. His cross comes all the way through and across that face of goal, but no one responding. Dumfries the closest.
And it's such an inviting ball, right? Just squirting across that 6-yard box. Lovely combination here, especially for Marcus Thuram, to be able to absorb that pressure from behind. By Gatti, still pull off the back heel to keep the play alive for Inter. Sometimes that's what the striker has to do. Both Lautaro and Marcus Thuram are so mobile. They're not just going to sit forward in that central area. They'll come short, they'll come out wide to get on the ball.
Here's Weston McKennie. In towards the run of Kalulu, who came forward, and Juve taking their chances to go. They've won a corner here. Juventini enjoying their evening out as the sun sets in Turin on a lovely evening. Still that point in the season where everyone's wearing short sleeves in the crowd. Return very soon. Lifted in from Koop Miners. Vlahovic won the header. He's hardly been in the game. And that one glancing wide. Kanji does well to put him off. Juve though winning a throw high up the pitch, playing with Koop Miners. Gave it away though. Mkhitaryan, Barella. Koop Miners had a couple of moments to play and had one long distance shot that opened up for him on a pass from McKennie. Couldn't convert though. Here's Bastoni. Dumfries. Once again, this passing in between Inter players on the periphery of the shape, but Bastoni looks to open up. Even Acerbi is taking a step forward. He'll play the cross in. Arriving is Marcus Thuram, whose header is back for Dumfries. This effort deflects. McKennie got a boot in the way, and fortunate it went over.
Some of the quality we've seen from the center backs and playing balls in, we always expect it from Bastoni, but that is a really good ball to the back post from Acerbi. As Thuram peels away from his marker and is able to redirect it for some danger from Dumfries. What his best season ever with Inter last campaign.
Çalhanoğlu is in there. Akanji back through. And Barella. Not wide. Kefren Thuram will get there first ahead of Çalhanoğlu. Looks to lead a break with Yildiz. Carlos Augusto does well to just put his body in the way and let it run out for the throw.
I think Carlos has had some really smart moments of play. Remember when he tracked that entire run of Kalulu and blocked the shot that was going on target? Just looks very competent defensively.
He is nominally the left wing back, but all that defensive work covering across.
And he can also play in the back three if needed on the left-hand side. We've seen him fill in for Bastoni at times, so the versatility is appreciated.
used at times in these big games with Di Marco being so attack-minded. Balance required often. Inzaghi, and now Kivu will turn to Carlos Augusto. Dumfries. Turning. Let's get the cross away, Barella. Yildiz, though, running into trouble. Çalhanoğlu again from outside the area. One of the purest strikers of a ball in world football. Çalhanoğlu sends that one over.
And there's no hesitation. Obviously spurned on by the goal that he scored in the first half. He's had 3 or 4 other attempts where he's not even wasting a moment to think about whether or not he should shoot. It's the first thing on his mind, and it's so instinctive as well that Juventus have had issues covering it and being able to prevent those angles.
Headed away for the throw. Headed on from Koop Miners, and a couple of casualties in the way off the back end of that throw. Shove in the back is the motion there from the referee. This game came to life with Lloyd Kelly's opener and Çalhanoğlu's response. Kenan Yildiz making it 2-1 with an absolutely wondrous strike. His first of the season. Continues to have a great run under Tudor. Now with 7 goals and 6 assists since he took over the tail end of last season, spanning about 14 matches in Serie A. Mkhitaryan. Akanji. Lautaro Martinez going up. Carlos Augusto. Lifted away from Locatelli. Taken down by Çalhanoğlu. There's several shouts there for handball. None of them given. Bastoni. Barella. And again, look at the lines of defenders separating Inter from the goal. Testing of the mettle of Juventus at the moment. McKennie standing tall.
And this is the no-nonsense approach from Igor Tudor, just tailoring his tactics based on the game situation, the opponent. He's not stuck in his philosophy where he won't change his style no matter what the game is showing you, which we've seen a few managers go down that line. Right, the new age soccer philosophers, Chris. Was Malta a philosopher?
I think he was, almost at his own expense. I will say, though, in some ways, defending is a philosophy that some people subscribe to as well.
In Italy, absolutely. That's why you hear so many players coming from other leagues and saying just how hard it is to score in Serie A when you realize that all the teams in the top flight here are so well drilled tactically. It's one of the things that really stands out, no matter what league you're coming over from.
I've also seen it in reverse, where players that leave Serie A are almost dumbfounded by how different the game is relative to the league that they just came from.
You mean like Mohamed Salah?
Lautaro Martinez turning away from Locatelli and turning again. Locatelli just completely holding him off, though. Barella coming through and Gatti in the way. Just so little space to find. Bastoni tries to cross, and Locatelli again had to leap. Carlos Augusto was the closest to meeting that cross. Kalulu, though, losing out. Everything clean. And the referee's not going to stop play for a moment to happen behind the play. Going towards Vlahovic.
There's a few times that Vlahovic has complained about excessive physicality. Acerbi's been, oh, looks like he's shaking her hand. Look at that. But it's been Acerbi marking him as the center of that back three. He's had the task of shadowing Dusan Vlahovic, and Vlahovic has hardly gotten a touch so far. He hasn't had that many playable balls come towards him. Oh, with 30 minutes left to go, Tudor must have a lot of faith in his defense, playing such a low block that they will be able to cope with all the talent that Inter have on the field, and also players that they can bring on from the bench. This is a much deeper Inter attack this season. When you think of, they basically swapped Arnautovic, Taremi, Correa for Pio Esposito, Angian Boni. Much younger, talented players with an exceptionally high ceiling.
As Vlahovic was held again, this time by Acerbi. Those two becoming well acquainted. Inter possession now going up to 68% in the game. Of the ball, but not a lot with it. Plenty of shots, mostly from long distance, though. Yildiz into Bremer. Under pressure, has to get through, and it does manage to find a way through it to Thuram. McKennie will run beyond him. Tried to play him in, but it's off the heel of Dumfries.
Oh, it's a nice touch. Akanji, by the way, is man-marking Kenan Yildiz now. Kenan Yildiz came to the halfway line. Akanji was a step behind him, so they're making it a point to put a body on Kenan Yildiz, man-mark him. Wherever he goes, there's going to be an Inter defender right there with him. They cannot allow Kenan Yildiz to turn and run at you. And if you take him out of the game, you take out so much dynamism in this Juventus 11.
Bastoni. Lautaro Martinez. Thuram now. Flick back and not quite coming off. Here's Bastoni. Lifted in towards Marcus Thuram. Barella arriving, as was Dumfries, and neither really got to it. McKennie plays, but gives away. Fortunately, though, the Koopmeiners picks up the pieces.
Oh, it's not a good
Koopmeiners, though,
ball.
couldn't quite find Vlahovic.
Yeah, Koopmeiners has been out of sorts today yet again, sadly, for his case to be in the lineup.
Let's come back and win the ball, though. Locatelli playing around the referee. McKennie with Yildiz.
You know, for Koopmeiners, there's so much added quality now. When Jagrova comes back, he'll be fighting for one of those two attacking midfield positions. It looks like Locatelli and Thuram are locked down as the two holding midfielders in front of the back three, so you just don't really see a place where Koopmeiners is going to be a consistent starter.
Kalulu whipping in, and Acerbi between Vlahovic and that cross. Gatti, too much there of Lautaro, will be a free kick. Another name we haven't mentioned tonight is Francisco Conceição, scored the winner in this derby.
Is injured
earlier this year, did pick up an injury. Was bothered in the game against Genoa before the break, and it was aggravated during the international window as a triple sub is coming here. Di Marco, Zielinski, and Angian Boni. coming into the game. Lautaro Martinez is the one who comes off, perhaps replaced off of playing 2 games during the international window.
Oh, this is quality coming off the bench. Boni's a player that we all really rated when he was at Parma. Not the most eye-catching goal numbers, but if you look at him and you see this big physical presence, he plays so differently. He's got such wonderful feet when he's on the ball. Technical ability, a modern striker can come back and get involved in the build-up. So much potential, Boni. I think the only thing he can add now is the volume goal scoring, but he does so much else other than that.
Yeah, you watched Parma last season, they play through him.
Yeah. And he likes to float. We'll see him floating around Thuram now. Always wanting to get the ball at his feet.
Acerbi. Akanji. Thuram playing with Çalhanoğlu. And Bastoni invited, will lift to that back post. Thuram heads across. Boni was in there. Zielinski controls for Çalhanoğlu again on the volley! Oh my word! How many times is he gonna do this? From outside the box in the first half and again in the second. One of the best strikers of a ball in the world delivers a second equalizer for Inter.
Speechless. Absolutely speechless. Oh, Bremer wins it, and he does so well in the air, but Zielinski from this position, I mean, you have no business going for goal. You have no business scoring. I mean, that he even thought about taking a shot from there. Oh, he catches it on the volley, just chests it down, lets it fall to his feet. Look at this, as he's moving away from goal as well. So good that not even the cameras could deal with that quality. We don't have the resolution available.
A brace of bangers for Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
Chris, it'll be difficult, and you can look at anywhere in the world to find a game where you have 4 goals, and each of those goals are scored in such fashion, from distance, from acute angles, on the volley. This is unbelievable stuff today, the quality of what's been able to go in past these goalkeepers. You could hardly even look at the goalkeepers. They've been out of this world, the finishes. And Çalhanoğlu has turned back the years. This is the very best version of the Turkish midfielder.
Kefren Thuram. And 2 needed golazos from Çalhanoğlu to draw Inter level. Here's Thuram. This was a 4-4 last year. We're certainly on our way.
And oftentimes you can look at defensive mistakes, right? Bremer didn't do anything wrong. Bremer won a header inside the box, cleared the ball from that position. He couldn't have cleared it any further away. It's just that Çalhanoğlu, and you can make the same case for any one of these other goals. Çalhanoğlu had no business shooting and scoring from that position, but that's when you just, you know, there's levels to this, and we've always talked about the shooting ability of Çalhanoğlu, and it is on full display here for the world to see.
Yildiz. McKennie able to help it on, putting the foot race on for Acerbi, and Sommer has to get rid. Sommer, beyond the 2 goals that Juve have scored, has not been tremendously busy. Here's McKennie. Shifted down the line, does deflect away off Zielinski. To your point, Matteo, there's been 5 shots on target in the game, and 4 of them have flown in. Largely been unsavable.
Unsavable. Otherworldly efficiency. And a way to bypass the low block, right? That's the way. It's going to be hard to get anything inside the box, so what you do is you just shoot from distance, and it's working.
Di Marco bursting through, his cross is blocked away from Kelly. And now Inter are starting to make incursions into that area. Playing through rather than around. But to your point, it is what makes Çalhanoğlu such a weapon. He can hit those long-distance strikes.
And I think this is the moment now that Tudor's got to look to his bench. I think Koopmeiners and Vlahovic haven't really been involved. You have to look at those two and put some fresh legs in.
Di Marco into that near post. Mkhitaryan back wide again for Di Marco. Another great cross, and this time Gatti repels. Mkhitaryan slid through there by Locatelli. It's going to be a yellow as well.
Personally, Chris, I go Jonathan David, Lois Openda in for Vlahovic and Tun Koopmeiners. They've talked about it, that they can play one off of the other. It's not that you have to choose one or the other, because both of them are such good creators. I said on the pregame show about Lois Openda, there's only 4 other players since the 2022-2023 season in the top 5 European leagues that have had more than 50 goals, more than 15 assists. 50 goals, 15 assists or more. Openda, the other 4 names, Haaland, Lewandowski, Kane, Mo Salah. That's the company that Openda is in when you look at that specific stat line of goals and assists. And then Jonathan David, as we know, can give you both, right? So they can play off each other, they can combine. That's one I'm so curious to see how it can work for Juve.
Tudor, though, is yet to make a change. 20 minutes to play. Çalhanoğlu once more goes all the way through, and it was knotted on there by Bastoni. Couldn't quite direct it towards trouble for Di Gregorio. Challenge in from Bastoni on Koopmeiners. Juve seemingly on the ropes. Inter have created a fair bit. Had a lot of the ball. They've largely been playing from behind, though. Can they gain a lead at some point? Here's Kelly. Thuram. Kalulu. As now Juve are getting their first changes ready. It does look like Openda and Vasile Acic coming along with Juan Cabal. Poor there from Kalulu.
And Cabal is more of a natural left back, left wing back, but he had that serious injury as well. Missed a lot of last season, but he was showing some good signs, Chris, before the season started. Big moment for the youngster too, and a great chance to see the former Lens and RB Leipzig striker, who's had some incredible stat lines over the years. A real bomber at times, Lois Openda.
Now the changes are coming. And it's Vlahovic, Koopmeiners, and Locatelli that will make way for Openda, Acic, and Cabal.
I'm not surprised by Vlahovic and Koopmeiners, especially. Koopmeiners just failed to make an impact of any type. He had a scuff shot, some passes that were wayward, just sadly looked like a lot of what we saw last season, and there's so much competition now for those 2 attacking midfield spots behind the lone striker. Good to see Cabal back. Serious injury last season. That is a natural left-sided fullback for Juventus.
Cabal tore his ACL midway through the campaign.
And Adzic is going to play his Basically that cup miner's role with Openda leading the line.
Ajic, an interesting introduction. Only played 77 minutes the whole of last season. Was linked with a loan move to get some game time rather than staying with the club. A promising young player from the Montenegro top flight. Çalhanoğlu playing with Dumfries. Straightforward claim there for Di Gregorio.
That is going to be a tough matchup if Inter playing a high line. That defense against the pace of Openda and the runs that he can make in behind. Especially for the veteran defender in the middle. Francesco Acerbi at 37.
Well played through all that traffic from Boni, and look at the room for Di Marco to roam forward. Di Marco gets the cross away. McKennie has come across and dealt with it. So Matteo Darmian is the next to get ready to enter the match for Inter. Here's Di Marco's delivery. And the header is on! And turned in from Marcus Thuram. Barely celebrates. Inter have the go-ahead goal. Their first lead in this Derby d'Italia. Marcus Thuram can't even bring himself to celebrate. What a delivery. It's now Juve 2, Inter 3.
And Fede Di Marco, we all know about his defensive deficiencies, but going forward, whether it's going for goal or setting up teammates, he's got a wand of a left foot. That is a tremendous corner. And Marcus Thuram rising above Kalulu and Cabal. It's not like they were really plastered onto him. He just finds that little pocket right in between them. And he's about half a foot higher than Kalulu, who was behind him. It's a pinpoint header from that position. There's just nothing that these goalkeepers can do. Christian Kivu goes airborne as well.
He's got no problem celebrating.
Oh my goodness, what a game.
I wonder if Marcus there being respectful.
Well, he's got a brother on the other team. His father, Milian Thuram, was a Juventus legend. And this is a like-for-like, more defensive-minded switch perhaps. Dumfries, who's a train going forward. The veteran Matteo Darmian, another versatile defender, coming in on that right side. What a game.
6 years Lilian Thuram spent with Juventus. Marcus perhaps treating that with the respect that it deserves, as Openda is his first involvement. Ajic will go racing towards Sommer. And now Juve have to respond for the first time in the game. Thuram has now got 3 goals in this early season. Charging forward again, but closed down seemingly there from Kelly. Enough of the ball won. Cabal playing with Ajic. Turning away from trouble, but then back into it. Mkhitaryan with a challenge in, and Juventus a bit all over the place at the moment.
It's the first time that we're going to see Juventus really open up here. First time that they've been down a goal. So it's going to shift a bit the way that Inter handle this game. First time that we're going to not see them on the front foot. Look at the run.
McKennie now playing through midfield. Cabal couldn't quite control it. Over on that far side, João Mario now looks like the next to come in.
Incredible support from that tiny sliver of this modern stadium that's dedicated to the away fans. Not a seat empty there where the Curva Nord have come. About a 90-minute drive from Milano.
And it's McKennie and Gatti who will make way for the double change, the final throws of the dice. Jonathan David and João Mario, the new signing that came in from FC Porto in the summer, to turn this around. David started the first 2 matches, got a goal in the opener against Parma. And only has 11 minutes to combine with Openda and make an impact here.
And this is what we were talking about 10 minutes ago. How would the combination look between David and Openda? Both are very good at finding teammates as well as scoring. Looks like they'll play right in line with one another. And João Mario finally gives Juventus a true right wing back.
Forward there from Cabal. Openda threatening, now controlled here by David. Thuram, so good on the dribble. And now Yildiz, who's effectively managed in this second half after scoring that cracking second goal for Juve.
See the versatility of Kalulu. Started as a right wing back, now he can drop back to his more natural center back position to allow João Mario to get forward a bit more.
Ajic and Kefren Thuram. Bremer, Ajic on the turn. Ajic tries to slip it through, comes for Openda, the save made from Sommer. Will come up for Cabal. Flag never came. Played on here through Yildiz. And now the flag does come. Thought all the way. It was in an offside position for Openda.
Maybe Ajic wasted a little bit too long, needed to get that pass just that split second earlier, and Openda would have been onside.
And now the final change made by Kivu will be Petar Sucic.
One of the big signings brought over in the summer. Croatian midfielder, started first game of the season. Showed some really positive signs. This is that wonder goal from Çalhanoğlu on his brace. Both so terrific, especially this one from such a bizarre angle. You're drifting away from goal. To be able to wrap your body around it, still generate that kind of pace on the ball, the precision to find that bottom corner. Amazing.
And the reaction he gets from his teammates, given away cheaply there by Di Marco. Now Luis Openda pulled to the floor there by Bastoni. An awkward one. It will result in a free kick in a good crossing position. It's an arm up high there, isn't it? From Bastoni. What can Yildiz do with the cross? There's a delivery from Yildiz. Headers on Kefren Thuram! The brothers Thuram making it 3-3. Marcus down one end and Kefren down the other. Another classic Derby d'Italia. It's 3-0.
A great move by Tudor, keeping Kenan Yildiz in the game. He's the one who can provide that moment of magic, and he put this ball perfectly for that run forward by Kefren Thuram. Oh, he rises above everyone as well. It's hardly challenged. Such precision on all these finishes. The cross in from Yildiz. And Thuram is just able to get by both Bastoni and Akanji. And no one's there to really challenge him. He's the only one leaping for it. I mean, what can you say? I think the extended highlights are going to rack up more than 1 million views in day one. This is amazing stuff.
Extended highlights will be about 23 minutes long at this pace.
One of the better games that you'll see. I don't care what league you follow. doesn't get much better than what we're witnessing here. Just seesaw, the balance, the chess battle between Kivu and Tudor.
David. Ajic just about kept it. He's thrown into a cauldron. This young player from Montenegro. Kalulu. João Mario. Dispossessed there by Mkhitaryan, who's handling the occasion well. Boni tripped up from behind there by Ajic.
And while that 4-4 game last season was characterized by woeful defending, sloppiness at the back, it's hard to blame the defenders and the goalkeepers because the strikes that we've seen have been such impossible hits. It's more a game summarized by the individual brilliance than I think crazy defensive lapses or the penalties that we saw given away in that game at the Giuseppe Meazza last season. I mean, some of those defensive plays were embarrassing. This is a completely different tune here today.
Kalulu hitting that long ball, but it's awkwardly come now for Boni. Kefren Turan putting out that fire. And now the yellow card is going to come here for Mkhitaryan for that late challenge. Starting to see that bite and that intensity in this rivalry. We've seen some great goals. 5 minutes left to play. Either of these two teams going to go for a winner. Late one left in there for Mkhitaryan. Never getting there. Yildiz. Here's Kefren Turan, slipped in towards David, who managed to poke it beyond Mkhitaryan, but Zielinski covering well. Well done from Zielinski to work himself a window, but gave it away straight to Ajic. Open in the middle for Yildiz. Openda will get to it. Lois Openda trying his luck. But Kefren Turan had work to do to keep it, and Boni has dispossessed him.
That was some clever technique in close quarters by Openda to keep hold of possession. It's a sign of things to come. And Tudor is probably telling Ajic to get into the game. He's looked a bit slow with his decision making. He's obviously the nerves, a player that's, as you said, played just over 70 minutes for the Juventus senior side, part of the next-gen system. Maybe the nerves are still there. He's got to shake them off.
Marcus Thuram already has the equalizer. Free kick given. Two brothers with knowing handshakes there in midfield. Marcus Thuram does look physically uncomfortable. Looked like he was going to motion towards the bench that might need a sub, but Inter don't have one. Darmian skipping beyond Kelly and lifting a cross in. And now the referee is going to stop play for the offside flag coming up against Matteo Darmian.
What are the odds that both the Thuram brothers score headers in rapid succession? And yeah, he's still not moving. Thuram might need to get taken off, not risk anything. Hopefully nothing serious. Here is his goal. Beautiful crossing from Di Marco right at the edge of that 6-yard box, and a muted celebration. Of course, Marcus Thuram has plenty of links with Juventus. His brother plays there, started today. Here he is, Kefren Thuram, and his father was a legendary Juventus center back in the day. And a terrific pinpoint header from Kefren Thuram as well, a player who's given so much since coming over from Ligue 1. Does a bit of everything, does it all well.
You see him looking uncomfortable there. walk off. Played through pain quite significantly towards the second half of last season as Inter were pushing for a trio of titles at the end of the season. In Coppa Italia, in Serie A, and in the Champions League. Managed to fight his way through it. Might Inter have to survive these final minutes? Down to 10 men. Lifted in behind, in towards Openda, couldn't quite get to it. Juan Cabal trying his luck.
I mean, why not? The way things have gone today. Juan Cabal saw Lloyd Kelly pull off the impossible. Oh, not right there, Lloyd. Let's see what I got.
Trying to equal Hakan Çalhanoğlu's efforts.
What an advertisement, though. And it's two teams, right, that have had a mini revolution in the summer. Inter post the historic Champions League collapse and defeat, losing 5-0 to PSG, the change of manager, the way that Simone Inzaghi went away so unceremoniously after everything he's accomplished at the club. And Juventus whispers that they were looking first at Conte, then Gasperini, and then just deciding to stick with Tudor and his Juventus experience. A lot of new signings. After a disappointing season, which they did something, Juventus, that they don't normally do, which is sack a manager mid-season. That's very rare for the Bianconeri.
João Mario cutting inside there of Di Marco. Agic. Now Yildiz in towards Openda, helps it back for Kefren Turam. David, settle with Agic! Oh my! Another golazo! Vasilije Agic had played 77 minutes for Juve before today and scores another wonder goal in this absolutely stunning Derby d'Italia. Juve in front again.
Is this real life? Is this a fever dream? What is happening in front of our eyes? It's an all-time classic in the Derby d'Italia. Just when you think, can it be topped? It's not possible. It's the youngster who only had 70 minutes of top-flight football coming into the game and perhaps deciding it all with a strike. I mean, that is not even from Piemonte. It's so far away from goal. Once again, Jan Summers just grasping at thin air. Oh, he gets the slightest touch. And once again, just like the shot from Kenan Yildiz in the first half, the power of the ball nearly takes Jan Summers' glove clean off. Unbelievable. Well, what we've seen today just defies all logic, Chris. It's better and better and better and better, and now, after all this, we have 7 with 2 minutes to go. Surely, that's the last goal. Nothing's sure in this game.
No.
Oh my God.
We might be on our way to another 4-4. Marcus Thuram having a chat there with Kefren. And after looking over the whole incident, confirmed as a goal. Look at these fans celebrating. They almost get a second go at it. Fino alla fine.
Oh my goodness.
Defining that expression here today.
This is one of those moments, this kid Agic, who was playing in the Juve Next Gen system, just think of what this will mean. he just takes a look up just to see where Jan Sommer is. And he says, why not? We've almost had the supernatural here today, so why not have another go from this kind of impossible position, from a standstill position? He was standing still when he shot that ball and still was able to hit it with so much power.
His first goal for Juventus. Away from Cabala now for the throw, and now this crowd is right behind them. But a reminder, the Derby d'Italia last year, the first meeting at the Meazza finished 4-4. Inter will want that fourth. Bremer away, Akanji's header out wide for Darmian, who returns. Ajic clears. And you think with the length of the review, got another minute to 90 seconds left to play, even beyond that minimum of 5. Acerbi, Di Marco, in towards Antoine Bonny, wrestling there with Kalulu. Di Marco lifts in, Darmian is in there, Bastoni left it there, and Ajic was closest. Another poke towards the Inter area, Cabal slicing away.
Oh, this will be the last attack for Inter. Is that a throw-in? Could you imagine?
And Di Marco will come across to take it.
Oh, it just went to the left of the corner flag.
Assistant well placed, but still a tough one to see. Di Marco lifting in. Bonny was in there, but away from Ajic. Scored what looks to be the winning goal, and another key defensive contribution. Di Marco sprinting from side to side to put crosses in. Di Marco once more. Well bent header, one from Thuram, but is always going wide. And Juve will feel they're there. It's defeat for Christian Kivu in his first ever Derby d'Italia, an all-time classic for Juventus, a significant